Welcome back, guys. We are on chapter number 2, Microorganisms, Friends and Foe. We are covering this chapter part-wise, and in this video, we are going to cover its third and last part. It is about harmful microscopic organisms and methods of food preservation. This is the journal layout of our chapter. It is divisible into 5 parts. I have already uploaded video on first 3 segments of this chapter. For detail, you can watch those videos on my channel BioHub. In today's video, we are going to cover segment number 4, which is about harmful microscopic organisms, and segment number 5, food preservation. Now you know, students, microorganisms are those organisms which are very small, and they cannot be seen through naked eyes. They can only be seen with the help of microscope. Now, on the basis of their effect on our life, human life, they are broadly categorized into 2 types: useful microbes and harmful microbes. In this video, our focus is on harmful microbes. So, there are further 2 subtypes. First, disease-causing microbes, and second, food-spoiling microbes. Under disease-causing microbes, we have to learn about mode of spread of harmful microbes, communicable diseases, and preventive measures of communicable diseases. And in second part, which is about food-spoiling microbes, here we have to learn about the effects of spoilage microbes on various fruits and other food items, and methods of counteracting food spoilage with the help of certain specific methods of food preservation. So this is the journal outline of content of this video. So viewers, stay connected, watch this video till the last. Let's explore together about these harmful microscopic organisms. Are you ready? Okay. Harmful microbes. They are also called as disease-causing microorganisms, pathogens, or foes. Foe means an enemy. Sometimes they are also called as germs, but this is a misnomer term. Germ, dictionary meaning of germ is any microscopic organism. It can be useful or it can be harmful. Harmful microbes, they can be bacteria, fungi, protozoa, virus, and even some algal species. They are responsible for a large number of diseases, not only in human beings but also in animals and plants, and they are responsible for the spoilage of variety of foodstuffs. First, let us take up disease-causing microorganisms. Disease-causing microorganisms, how they are getting an entry into us and how they are making us sick. So let's understand that modes of spread of harmful microbes. They are generally taking 5 routes to enter into our body and to make us ill. First, through air. Second, through contaminated food and water. Third, through insects. Fourth, through direct contact. And fifth, through cuts and wounds. Now let's understand about these modes of spread with the help of examples. First, through air. When a person suffering from common cold or flu sneezes, coughs or spits, disease-causing microbes, they are released into the air. A healthy person breathing this air can get infected, and we have a long list of diseases which are spread through air. Common ones are common cold, flu, chickenpox, mumps, polio, tuberculosis, measles, etc. COVID-19 is one such viral disease. That is why wearing a mask is so important. COVID-19 is taking another routes also. That's why there is a pandemic throughout the globe. It is highly infectious viral disease which is spreading at a very fast rate with the help of multiple modes of spreading, and it is because of coronavirus. But now its variants are also there in the different parts of the globe, and they are little more virulent, more powerful than the previous ones. So we have to be extra careful and we have to follow all protocols related to COVID-19. So this was about mode of spread of disease through air. Second route is through contaminated food and water. How this our food and water is getting contaminated? Bacteria, they are known for the production of certain poisonous substances called as toxins. They are secreting that into water or food in which they are present. Certain algae, they also produce certain toxic materials. And if we are drinking that water, we will fall sick. Even parasites and viruses, they are contaminating our food and water in different ways. And all these harmful microbes, they are responsible for a variety of diseases in human beings like food poisoning, diarrhea, gastroenteritis, cholera, typhoid, hepatitis, polio. We have to eat freshly prepared food and clean drinking water. Third route is through direct contact. Through direct contact means through direct physical contact with the sick person. Like when you are down with viral, your mother takes care of you. और जब आप recover करने लगते हो, your mother falls sick. So that is direct contact. And some common examples of diseases which spread through direct contact are conjunctivitis or eye flu, polio. If you will look at this picture with 3 children with physical deformities, you will realize that yes, these do boon of zindagi ke are very important for all kids which are below 5 years of age. Next is rubella or German measles. It's a viral disease and it also spreads through direct contact. Fourth route is through insects. These insects, especially mosquitoes, houseflies and fleas, they act as carriers of disease-causing microbes or pathogens, and they are transmitting these pathogens from diseased or sick person to healthy person. Like female anopheles, this is one mosquito, female anopheles. It carries pathogens of malaria from sick person to healthy person. When it bites a healthy person, he or she gets infected with malaria. Houseflies, they also sit on dirt, disease-causing organisms. They stick to their body, especially hairs which are present in their jointed legs. And then when they sit on the food, they transfer those pathogens to the food. The person consuming this food may get sick. Third one is this mosquito, again a female mosquito, which is called as Aedes. It acts as a carrier of dengue virus. So this is responsible for spread of dengue. An equally important route is through cuts and wounds. Through cuts and wounds also a number of opportunistic harmful microbes, they get an entry into our body and they make us sick, and they are responsible for a number of diseases. One such opportunistic harmful microscopic organism is Clostridium tetani, which is responsible for tetanus. It's a very painful disease. It leads to paralysis of muscles and it leads to stiffness. So always remember, if you will get a deep bruise while playing in the ground or through some rusted iron article, you should go for injection of tetanus toxoid. It's must. So these are the 5 routes through which these harmful microbes or pathogens, they are getting an entry into our body and they are responsible for number of diseases in human beings. But viewers, they are responsible for a variety of diseases in animals and plants also. Like in animals, there is one disease, anthrax. Anthrax is one bacterial disease which is affecting human beings, also affecting animals. Second is a viral disease which is very painful disease. It is called as foot and mouth disease, which is affecting our cattle, especially cows, buffaloes. These harmful microbes, they are not sparing our plants also. They are responsible for a variety of diseases in plants, like this is a citrus canker. It is a bacterial disease which affects the trees of citrus fruit like lemon and their leaves and fruits. Next disease is yellow vein mosaic. This is a viral disease. It affects ladyfinger plants and it leads to the discoloration of vein and interveinal part of the leaf and drastically affect the crop yield. Even wheat plant, which is one of the cereal crop, it is also affected by a large variety of fungal and bacterial organism, like this is rust of wheat. It is a fungal disease which is generally spread by air and infected seeds, and it also reduces the crop yield. So this was about mode of spread of harmful diseases and their examples. Next segment is communicable diseases. As it is clear from the term itself, communicable diseases are those diseases which are spreading from infected person to healthy person through different routes, through contaminated air, contaminated food and water, through direct contact. Now we have a long list of communicable diseases like cholera. It is spreading through contaminated food and water. Typhoid, again food and water. Hepatitis or jaundice, it is spreading contaminated food and water. Influenza or flu through air. Tuberculosis or TB, spreading through air. Malaria through female mosquito anopheles. Tetanus through bite wounds exposed to dust or rusted items. So these are few examples of communicable diseases and their mode of spread from infected person to healthy person. Yeah. So now you know about harmful microscopic organisms, their mode of spread and the diseases they are causing in human beings, plants and animals. Credit for making this information available to us goes to a long list of microbiologists, and one such microbiologist is Robert Koch, who was from Germany. He identified bacterium which causes tuberculosis, cholera and anthrax, and for that he got a Nobel Prize in 1905. So microbiologists, their job is not over by simply identifying the causal organism. They are working one step more to make a medicine to counteract its effect. So let's understand about that also. Countering the ill effects. These disease-causing microbes, they are responsible for a number of diseases through a variety of microscopic organisms. So how we can control these or keep a check on these? By preventing this spread. Preventive measures. There are certain simple preventive measures. If we will adopt those, we will be able to stay away from diseases and we will be able to save our family, community and country from a number of diseases. Like get vaccinated. Vaccines are preparing us body to fight against deadly diseases. So we have to go for complete vaccination. We have to wash our hands often. Is also one of the preventive measures. Fourth, clean and disinfect commonly used surfaces. The place where you sit, it should be clean. Place where we cook our food, it should be clean. Don't share personal items. So these personal items, they are also responsible for diseases which spread through direct contact. So we have to avoid that. Avoid touching stray animals. They are also carrier of a number of diseases. Stay home when you are sick. Don't go for work. Don't go for shopping. Keep the infected person separated from others. If someone is down with viral, advise him or her to stay in one room. Last and the very important point is insects. They are also responsible for the transmission of number of diseases. So we have to keep a check on their breeding places and their breeding places are stagnant water. So don't allow water to collect anywhere in your neighborhood. Now some corona specific preventive measures. Though we all are following these measures since long, but just a gentle reminder to my viewers: social distancing, staying home, maintaining personal hygiene, wearing masks, that is must for each one of us. Always remember, prevention is better than cure. So with this, we are through with our first objective, which was about disease causing microbes, their mode of spread, diseases spread through these, and their preventive measures. Now our focus is second segment, which is about food spoiling microbes. Food spoiling microbes. A number of bacteria and fungi are responsible for spoilage of our food. The souring of milk, petrifaction of meat, rotting of tomatoes, potatoes, other vegetables and fruits. It is done due to the action of bacteria and fungi. Growth of mold, that is fungi, can make food unfit for consumption. Here you can see that tomato, which is completely rotten by fungi, and here also I am holding one in my hand. These black colored rotten part is because of the fungal infection. So we are not going to eat it. We are going to discard it. Yeast that can also make fruit juices, tomato juices unfit for consumption due to fermentation. Microorganisms, they are growing on a variety of food. Some of them, they produce toxic substances. So these toxic substances, they are making that food stuff poisonous. And if we will consume that contaminated food item, we will have food poisoning. Now one very important thing viewers, ये जो harmful microscopic organisms हैं, ये हमारे food पे grow कर जाते हैं and they are producing certain toxins. अब ये toxin containing food जब हम खाएंगे तो हमें serious illness हो सकती है and it can be food poisoning. So my suggestion is, if half part of the apple is rotten, don't eat the rest of the half. Throw away the entire apple into the bin. But viewers, we have a variety of methods of food preservation. So what is this food preservation? Ensuring that the food lasts a longer time without getting spoiled because of the growth of microorganisms. It is known as food preservation. It can be done in two steps. First step is killing the microbes in the food. And second step is stopping them from growing again. So method 1, heating. Heating food to a high temperature kills microbes. So we are using this technique in our kitchen. For example, milk and water, they are boiled to kill microbes. Milk has a very short shelf life. So if we want to preserve it for 2 days, 3 days or 1 week, what we can do? We can go for pasteurization of milk. What is pasteurization? Pasteurization is a technique which consists of heating milk to a high temperature of 70 degrees centigrade for about half a minute and then cooling it quickly. This kills most of the bacteria without affecting the flavor of the milk. This method is generally used in dairy farms. And this method was invented by Louis Pasteur. Louis Pasteur was a French microbiologist. He not only discovered the technique of pasteurization, but he discovered the process of fermentation for the first time, and he is also credited for creating first vaccine for rabies and anthrax. Second technique of milk preservation is ultra heat treatment, UHT. In this, partial sterilization of milk is done by heating it for a short time, around 1 to 2 seconds, at temperature exceeding 135 degrees centigrade, and then packing it in Tetra packs. It increases the shelf life of milk up to 6 months or more, or you can say until it is opened. Second method of food preservation is cooling. Cooling the food stops microbes from growing and reproducing. अब जो ये harmful microbes हैं, इनको भी ग्रो करने के लिए, रिप्रोड्यूस करने के लिए एक ऑप्टिमम टेम्परेचर चाहिए. अगर टेम्परेचर बहुत कम कर देंगे तब ये इनएक्टिव हो जाएंगे, वो ग्रो ही नहीं कर पाएंगे, एंड दे माइट डाई, एंड हेंस वी विल बी एबल टू प्रिजर्व आवर फूड. However, food once taken out of the refrigerator or freezer and warmed, microorganisms, they will start growing again, and so such food must be consumed soon after. For cooling, we have deep freezer, which you have seen in most of these ice cream shops, in which they are keeping ice creams, other frozen food, because they can keep these food items at below minus 18 degrees centigrade, and it can prevent it from getting spoiled for a few months. Second option which we all have in our house is use of refrigerator. A refrigerator keeps food at around 5 degrees centigrade and it keeps it from spoiling for a few days. Next method is chemical preservatives. We have a large number of commercial products like jams, jellies, squashes, ketchups. They are not getting spoiled because they have certain chemical preservatives in them, like sodium benzoate, sodium metabisulfite. And children, they are not only used in jams, squashes and ketchups, they are used in variety of other stuffs, like this is sugar free. It also has one chemical preservative, sodium benzoate, in it. Okay. We have shower gels. They too contain chemical preservative, sodium benzoate. So likewise, we have a number of commercial items, whether they are edible or non-edible, in which these chemical preservatives, they are used. In addition to this, we too have two very common chemical preservatives in our kitchen, and they are salt and sugar. To know about their utility, let's do an activity. So aim is to study the effect of salt or sugar on freshly cut fruits or vegetables. Steps: take any vegetable oblique fruit, cut it into smaller pieces and keep in a small glass bowl. Sprinkle 1 teaspoon of salt or sugar on it and leave it as such for half an hour. After half an hour, note the observations. It is an interesting activity. Every year it is carried out by a number of my students. So in this activity, we have taken freshly cut apple and sprinkled salt on that. After half an hour, it was seen the salt on apple made the fruit pieces to lose water due to osmosis, and it's visible in this glass ball. Similar activity was carried out with papaya, and by sprinkling sugar on it, it also resulted in the loss of water due to osmosis. So अगर किसी फूड या वेजिटेबल से हम पानी ही बाहर निकाल देंगे तो उसके अंदर अगर माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म है भी तो ग्रो कैसे करेगा? Water is required for all living organisms to grow. So this principle is utilized in number of commercial products to check the growth of bacteria and other fungal organisms, and it helps in preservation of meat, fish, pickle, chips, etc. Similarly, sugar. It inhibits the growth of bacteria and it is used as a preservative in jams, jellies and squashes. It also makes microbes to lose water by osmosis. Next is oil and vinegar. They provide an environment in which microorganisms cannot grow. They are used to preserve vegetables, fruits, fish, meat and pickles. Next is drying or dehydration of fresh fruits. They have lot of water, or if we are going for drying or dehydration of food, this leads to gradual removal of water and drying up those food items. So drying and dehydration is also one of the method of food preservation. Next method is canning. Canning consists of sterilizing the food and then sealing it in airtight containers. Sterilizing means making any food item free of microbes. It can be done through heating, it can be done through cooling, and then they are sealed in airtight containers. It prevents them getting spoiled for more than a year. We do have one more method. Here we are flushing the food item with nitrogen gas, whether it's a packet of chips or any other food item. Students, air is taken out and then nitrogen is flushed into it and then they are sealed. Why nitrogen is used? First, it replaces O2 and moisture, thus reduces chances of spoilage. Second reason, it is an inert and non-reactive gas which does not react with packed food. So this was about food spoiling microbes. So we are through with the content of this video. Now it's time to recap. In this video, you came to know about harmful microscopic organisms. They are responsible for a variety of diseases not only in human beings but in animals and plants. The content related to food spoiling microbes enabled us to know that a variety of fungi and bacteria are responsible for food spoilage and it can be minimized with the help of using different methods of food preservation. Now it's time to check our understanding about the content of this video with the help of these important questions which are generally asked in unit test or half yearly and even sometime in annual examination in one form or another. Next time when you will tune into my channel, I am going to upload chapter 8 cell structure and function, and in that I am going to cover cell and the cell theory. I want to thank you all for subscribing to my channel, staying tuned to it. If you are watching it, liking it, but you have not subscribed to it, then please do subscribe to it. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. With this, I'm signing out. It's a bio-bye from your facilitator, Dr. Seema Sharma. Stay tuned to my channel and keep exploring about biology with me. Take care. Bye-bye.